Hello, welcome to Wild West Garage. My name's Morgan. I'm standing in front of the Chevy, the 1950 Chevy Cab again. And in this video, I'm gonna work on the lower section of the cowl there. I'm gonna make the outer skin. I know I've already made a video of how to do that for the other side, but maybe I can make things a little more clear in this one. I'm going to try and show all the details, like right from start to finish, everything I do to make that piece right there. So here we go. So I've already drawn some marks on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that along those, well, it's not a line, but I'm going to line these two marks up in the brake. And I'm going to fold that 90 degrees. So the last time I did this, I didn't realize this was a straight line. So I was messing around with the tipping wheel on my bead roller. And then I realized that I could have just stuck it in the brake. So going straight to the brake this time. So get that about 90 degrees, take a look at it. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I've got the template here from when I made the other part, the other side. So I can just use this one. So now what I'm going to do is go straight to the shrinker. Here's the template. Here's my piece. So I'm just going to start shrinking this now. My shrinker hopefully is going to work a lot better than it did when I was making the last one. It wasn't working very well. I had to put the new jaws in. So the top part of the panel has a little bit of curve in it, so I'll bring a couple of shrinks in at the top. That's probably enough. I'm just going to keep holding this here so I get an idea exactly where most of the shrinking has to occur is right here. So I'm just going to concentrate on this area for a little while here. And because this flange is pretty wide, I'm going to have to, it's going to take a while because there's a lot of shrinking that has to take place here. Hopefully that camera isn't probably just wiggling around all over the place. But got it on the same, got it on the drill press. We're not videographers here, we're metal shapers. So you have to bear with me in that regard. The video is a little shaky. Hopefully my sheet metal shaping isn't shaky. It's starting to turn now. I could probably trim some of this flange off. Probably a bit wide, so I think I'm going to do that. Like I say, why fight it? Why fight all that extra material? Just want to give you a look at this. See what's happening here. It's kind of going concave there. I guess because this isn't really shrinking right in here in the corner, or next to the corner on this side, it's bending out like that, and that's bending this down, and it can't really, yeah, so it just kind of dishes out here. So I'm going to fix that, but first I'm going to trim some of this off, some of this material off, so I don't have to work so hard. So what I'm going to do here, get a gauge, trim that piece. It's just a hunk of sandpaper. Stick it in here like that, and then make a mark where the edge of the flange is. Kind of wraps around the pillar here. There we go, made my mark. And now I know exactly how wide this flange has to be. Bring it over here. Lay this on there. So let's see, I can cut about 1/4 of an inch off of there. So I'll just go along and mark this all out, trim it back, and get back to the shrinking. I'm just gonna work this area down here a little bit. Try to kind of slow this down a little bit here. And I'm going to work that out a little bit. Okay, we'll go back to the shrinker now. So I think every time I shrink it on the outside, I need to move it to the inside. Shrink that too. Otherwise, it's going to create problems. I'm going to compare it to the template. You can see, I think you can see. So if I hold it like that, I think I need to put one more shrink there. Now that I got it turning, I'm going to be a little bit more precise, I guess you could say, in where I'm going to put the shrinks, because I could end up shrinking it too much in one spot. Actually, I should be holding this back like this, because the bottom part of this, some of it's going to get cut off, like the return part. So that's fitting really good in the bottom 2 inches or 2.5 inches or so. So now I've got to come more up here. So right where my thumb is. Need more. We're going to come up here. So that's fitting really quite well. One more right here. Okay, that's looking really good. So I'm going to put another one up here high. Yeah, there you go. You can see that. Maybe I'll put one more right here. It's a bit of a gap to the template. I think I'm going to end up over, shrinking this a little bit too much, but overall, I'd rather have it too much at this stage than not enough, because I can take the stretch out, but once I bend this flange the second time, I'm not going to be able to shrink it again or anymore. I can expand it, but I won't be able to shrink it. At least not using this method. It'd be pretty difficult. It'd be pretty difficult to do. So that's fitting that really nicely now. Now you can see this here. It comes along and it dips in here again. So I'm going to have to work that area out. So I also want to tighten up this bend a little bit. It's not quite as crisp as it needs to be. See how this is dropped down here? So I need to make this curl in some more. So I'm just gonna try and tap this in here, bring that around a bit. Probably gonna end up having to shrink this here, but I want to make it curve up a bit. You just grab it, push it down. There we go. I'm gonna have to do some planishing on this once I get it to the right shape. Check my template again. Yeah, it's still fitting very well. So I'm gonna work on sharpening up this edge a little bit more. Really liking this hammer. Do a little planishing on this face here. Okay, so I'm going to just flatten this out a little bit, and then I'm going to start working on this part where I have to fold this back up. So I have to, this has to return back to this plane here. I just want to smooth this out first. Still needs some stretching here in this area to bring this up. This is just a hunk of leather I cut out of a seat, car seat. It's not really a sandbag, but it's going to be a sandbag eventually. But it gives it a little bit of something to go into. So it can stretch a little bit. Seems like it got a little bit of a wiggle in it. I'm trying to move some of this material from here to here, just because this is maybe I should do it the opposite way. I'll do a little bit here. Still fitting the template fairly well. I need to put a shrink right in here. Start to, no, actually no. It's starting to tighten up more. That's okay. More curve is good. So, yeah, so now I think that's looking good. It's going to need a bit of planishing, but I'm going to switch over to folding this out now. So this is the area that I gotta make now. So this hunk of 1/2 inch square bar fits in there really nice. See that? Comes out flush. So what I'll do is on my piece here, I'll just lay that on there and I'll scribe a line all along here, or just put a Sharpie mark, and then I'll be able to use that as a guide to fold this out. So I can't remember if I used this last time on this project, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to rub this along here. That's going to give me a nice line. I can get it to scratch through this blue. So anyways, I'll just keep doing that and I'll get a line there and I'll have something to go by. There we go. So now I'm just going to take the vice grips. A nice pair here. Nice pair. Here we go. And just gonna grab onto it right at the line and start bending it back. You just want to take this gradually, one bit at a time. I'm going to go right up to, just right up to the line. Once I get this started, I'm going to have to do some stretching here, quite a bit, because I did quite a bit of shrinking, so just want to get a line established here. Probably another way to do this, but this works really well for me. I think if you really wanted to be fussy, you could grind off the serrations on your vice grips so that it doesn't leave so many marks, but I'm not that fussy. I could sand them off. The other one turned out all right. By the time you finish, you know, a little hammer and dolly on it, kind of knocks them down so you can hardly see it. So just barely touching it on this first pass here. Of course, it's pretty strong in the corner. Like I said, I covered most of this in the other video when I was making the piece on the other side, but that was a pretty long video. It's going to end up being pretty long too. I just wanted to show, I jumped over some stuff there, on this part especially. I just wanted to show the entire process of especially making this part. That's kind of the most complicated part of the piece. I'm going to have to do a step, use some step rolls on the bead roller here to get where the fender bolts on. But that's pretty basic. I might not even do that in this video. See, this part is turning a lot easier because it's not as strong. So I'll go back over the back along here one more time. I won't have to do, because this is bending a lot here. So I'll just pick this up right about here. Work my way back. And then I'll go to some stretching. A lot easier to work, or to do the stretching part. Once you've got a line established, you can hold the piece up against an edge of the anvil or the I-beam or whatever you've got, block of iron or whatever. My son's a truck driver, and I went with him one day. He does deliveries to steel, like fab shops, drops off a lot of steel. And I jumped into a scrap bin the other day and grabbed that, just for a little bench anvil kind of thing. So I'll be doing something with that in the near future. Yeah, so this is quite strong here. It's not really responding a lot to what I'm doing. I'm getting the kind of a line I need to work from. Probably shaking the camera all over. Sorry. Yeah, the secret to metal shaping is not so much knowing how to do things. I think it's a combination of knowing how to do it and having the patience to see it through. See, this is opening this whole thing up on me here, which is okay. I can fix that after. Okay, so now I got that corner well established. So I'll take it to the anvil here. So I'm going to bring this fold back over here, initial fold. More or less got that back now. So now I'm going to go with this round face hammer here and just hold the corner, find a nice sharp part on the anvil, hold this corner in here, start stretching this back out. So doing that is really tighten this up, because this shrunk area here is moved closer to the middle, so this outside edge. So it's pulling this together. See how it's really tightened it up? That's okay, I can expand this. I can hit this edge here, like this face here, and this, and it'll open it up. God, it's really strong. I don't think I had that much, had it tighten up that much on me last time. I'm going to use this cross peen. I'm going to stretch it back. Wow. Well, I'm probably going to have to call it quits here because I'm working inside a shop, but I am working inside a shop, but sure some of this noise is transmitting outside the shop. So my son's in bed. He's a truck driver. He's got to get up early in the morning. You can see what I'm up against here. Really hooked in. See how at the bottom there it really needs to open up like a lot. I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't think it would happen that much. Anyway, just a lot of smashing and bashing. It'll come. So I've been working on this a little bit here and cut off part of that there that's not needed, and just it's getting there. Got a little bit more to go here. So right where those two marks are there, I gotta kind of hit that area some more, and hopefully this is gonna open up. Really sharpen this edge up. I'd like to get this edge sharpened up here quite a bit more too, so at least I know at least I'm getting kind of two results here. But anyways, I'll just keep going, working on this spot right here, and that'll tip that down. So I've right in the middle of the anvil here, I kind of softened it, kept the corners. Like to have short corners, but I've got a softened area right here, so that's what I'm using. And I'm hitting it quite a bit right in this area here, and on just the outside part of this face, and then across this whole face. Gotta make sure I'm working on the right spot here. Keep making new marks. I'm gonna have to wipe this thing off. Really crowded. I like to use a lot of small blows, and it's just not. You don't just wail on it, because you end up thinning out a spot, really thin. So just keep moving it around. And you hear that? Real distinct. That means I'm pinching the metal between the anvil and the hammer. If I see how it's dull there, you don't really want that. You want that real crisp ring. Sometimes I think I'm going backwards. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything. I don't know why. It has opened up quite a bit, but being stubborn here. Don't be a dumbass. Wear your safety glasses. This is getting frustrating. That did something. Figment of your imagination. Keep thinking, cut it off, weld it back on in the right spot. Could have been done by now. Start over. So I guess, you know, the other one didn't really do it. The other one tightened up a little bit, but not this bad. So, if I had started out with less curve here, before I made this fold, or this bend, it would have come to me, right? To where I wanted it, obviously, because that's what it did, it tightened up. But I never really expected it to tighten up this much. I mean, I have moved it out quite a bit. I'll have to go back and review the video and see what it looks like, but yeah, it's just slow going. I really don't understand why it hasn't opened up more. You know, just doesn't make any sense. Where's the metal going? You know, and if I hit on this corner too much, that's why I softened this. I didn't want to end up cutting through this, but eventually that's going to get so thin there that it's just going to open up. So slow, ever so slowly. Just, it's crazy. It's getting wider this way. Don't get it. Looks like it's going back and forth. It's not working. Why? I'm not going to cut it. There's a definition of insanity, right? doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's what this is. That's what this is seeming like. Doesn't make any sense. I shrunk this. I made this bend. I shrunk it. It made the curve. Now I'm expanding this metal and it's not opening up. So what's going on here? This hasn't moved in the whole time. Okay, things are starting to develop here. I got kind of mad and I started wailing on this thing. So anyways, it's starting to come into shape here. So kind of depends on where I hold this. So what I've decided to do is move up the panel a little bit into this area here. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bit of a kink in this right here. It goes along and then it turns in. So I got to work this area out right here on the face of this to kind of smooth that out, and I think that is going to help down in here. It's going to open this up a little bit, and it'll allow me to move the template up the panel. So see what happens here. So I was holding it down here, and then there's a gap at the bottom, right? But if I slide the template up, and then I get a gap right in this area here. So I'm just going to work that out, and hopefully I'll get what I want. Let's see what's happening here. This is starting to move out, so I think I need to shrink this right here a little bit. Believe it or not, I can. After all that, did something. Try the template now. Yeah, getting somewhere. Still got to bump it out right here. Right where my thumb is, I got to bump it out. So to get that to go out there, I'm gonna hold it, place it on the anvil here, and then I'm gonna hit it uphill from there, and that'll move this area that way, I think. So I'll just kind of keep hitting uphill from where it's sitting on the anvil. Okay, see, this is bulging out here a little bit. That's what I'm trying to push that back down.
That's good for your tools, drop them on the floor. And got hand in my hand.
Trying to tidy up some of this mangled looking material here. Okay, we have achieved fit. See that? So just by moving the template up the panel and concentrating on a different area, I've got it fitting fairly well. It's a little bit loose. See through right here, but that's an area that was kind of pushed down or tipped in, or whatever you want to call it, from when I was doing the shrinking. Remember that? This went in like this, so I could work that out a little bit more. You're probably asking yourself right about now, why is this man doing this? When you can go out and buy this panel, I think it's about $75 US. So by the time I got it here, it'd probably be about 120 bucks. Landed on my doorstep. But, you know, as a kid, I played with Lego, and I already know how to put Lego together. So, If I wanted to play with Lego, I'd go buy a bunch of Lego and put it together. And I don't want to play with Lego anymore. I want to make sheet metal panels from flat sheet. That's what I want to do. So that's why I'm doing this. You want to play with Lego? We'll play with Lego. That sounds crazy to you? You're entitled to your opinion. I just look at this as practice. It's kind of therapeutic. Challenges my brain. You know, sometimes it frustrates me, as you can see. But in the end, it makes me feel good. And I could take a piece of flat sheet metal and make it into something like this. I think I got it. Yes, I do. Okay, see that? Now it's fitting. It only took about half an hour to get it to this point. Maybe an hour, I don't know. So, anyways, I'm happy with that. Now I'm just gonna kind of fine tune this a little bit. And this video is going to end up being 2 hours long if I keep you here. So I'm not going to keep you here. I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'll come back when it's all nice. So there we go. I don't know if you could really tell what I was doing in that high speed clip, but you know, prior to going to the high speed, I time lapse. I pretty much had this in the, you know, the more or less rough shape that I wanted. Just needed to fine tune it a little bit. And that's what I've been doing here, and so you know, I could mess around with this a bit more, but you know, I don't really think it's necessary. I'm gonna be you know, I'm not a super perfectionist as far as you know, I like to make these panels as well as I can, but I gotta cut it off somewhere. I could mess around with this piece for another hour or two, and it's really not going to improve it that much. And I'm not opposed to using a little bit of putty here and there. And you know, I'm gonna be spraying a layer of epoxy primer on this, and some high build primer on top of that. So I'm pretty sure that's going to take care of any imperfections that remain here. So, you know, like I said, I don't know how practical this is. You know, I probably could have had this cab all glued together by now with somebody else's panels, but like I said, I'm not into that. You know, if it was a real, you know, if somebody was in a real rush, maybe, yeah, sure, I'd do it that way. But, you know, I'm just honing my skills, really. That's what I'm doing. I'm learning. And So when something does come into the shop that I absolutely can't get a piece for, I'll be able to make it. And you know, I'm learning as I go here. It's like Gene Winfield. He said every day's a school day. So I'm in school right now. I learned something on this one. It threw a curve at me, too much of a curve, and I had to work through it. I got a little bit frustrated, even kind of mad at myself, I guess. But I kept at it, and here we go. Here it is. So, anyways, what else was I gonna say? I don't know. There's still more work to do on this. I gotta put it to the truck now and establish that that line for where the fender bolts on. Probably gonna have to shrink this up here a bit to make it fit. I had to do that on the other one. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. I'm not gonna get into all that, the rest of the details on it. I mainly wanted to focus on this area here, showing you how to do that, showing you how I do it. I don't know if you want to follow my lead, but this works for me. Anyways, thanks for watching, and thank you, Gene Winfield, for all your inspiration. Amazing man, 94 years old. Still, you know, still messing around with cars. This video turned out a little longer than I had hoped. But, if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for sticking with me. And I really appreciate all the support. I'm up to over 500 subscribers now, and I appreciate every one of them. And I'm going to keep trying to make you know, content that's interesting. So hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.